Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana. There are some remarks James Orengo made in the Senate today. Remarks I want us to have a look here, for they are going to form the basis of our analysis and discussion right now. Have a look at this.
At the end of the day, the exercise of presidential powers rests on the president. To treat the presidency as an arranged marriage, I think is wrong. And arranged marriages never really work. Never really work. Don't force yourself into a marriage. Never force yourself into a marriage. You'll be like being forced into a marriage like Marie Antoinette. Yeah, her mother arranged a marriage between Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI. And she found out that Louis XVI was not really a man. Yeah. I will not go to the details. But arranged marriages are just like that. May I believe that when you are a lady, a gracious lady, and you want to enter into a union, you make some kind of choice. I'm just taking a little bite on this ongoing debate that whoever is involved in that process, let ultimately, because I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, let me predict something. The next president is going to secure a 5-year term, depending on what he does in the first 1 year. And in the in the next 1.5 years, he can secure his second term. But if you have a relationship where there's dysfunction, you know, that president falls the moment you're sworn in.
Yes. From those remarks, James Orengo is clearly referring to what is currently happening in Azimio, more so the issue of Raila's running mate. In the recent days, Kalonzo Musyoka and his close associates have been insisting that Raila's running mate must be Kalonzo Musyoka, failure to which they will not support Raila Odinga. So in one way or the other, Kalonzo Musyoka is forcing himself to be Raila's running mate. Yes. So what James Orengo might be saying, or rather is saying, holds some water. So in this video, I want us to dig deep to see exactly what James Orengo is actually saying. In case you've bumped here for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Yes, James Orengo is cleverly and politely warning Raila Odinga not to be intimidated by Kalonzo and his team into picking Kalonzo Musyoka as his running mate. That's what Orengo is cleverly and politely telling Raila Odinga. Don't allow Kalonzo Musyoka to intimidate you into picking him your running mate. If you go ahead and pick him as your running mate, then be prepared for the collapse of your government, maybe in the first year. That's what Orengo is just telling Raila Odinga. And largely, if you look at Kalonzo Musyoka, his body language, his demeanor, and the utterances of his close associates, Kalonzo is on record stating clearly that he's looking for numbers to impeach Raila Odinga should Raila Odinga betray him after forming government. Kalonzo is on record as saying that. And those are words that cannot be taken lightly. Yes. And Kalonzo is also on record as stating that what William Ruto did is exactly what he might do. So Kalonzo actually admires the kind of squabbles and quarrelings that have all along dogged Jubilee government. Kalonzo is on record as stating that. So it might be true that if Raila goes ahead to pick or appoint Kalonzo Musyoka, then we might find some kind of squabbles and quarrelings, things we saw and witnessed in Jubilee government. And that can be so because Kalonzo believes he's a political equal to Raila Molo Odinga. That's how Kalonzo views and sees himself. He thinks he's Raila's political equal. So what's the way forward out of all this? From where I sit, I believe that President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Molo Odinga should actually weigh all the options. If they can win this year's presidential election without the input of Kalonzo Musyoka, they should just do away with Kalonzo Musyoka. For them to have a stable and a peaceful government come August this year. If they can do without Kalonzo Musyoka, they should just do away with Kalonzo Musyoka. If they think they can't do without Kalonzo Musyoka, then actually they should give Kalonzo Musyoka what Kalonzo wants. And they should also be prepared to share positions with Kalonzo Musyoka after forming government. If they cannot do that, then they should prepare early enough to have some post-election deal with the opposition. Because that will actually neutralize Kalonzo Musyoka. Those are the real possibilities I'm seeing, or rather, those are the likely scenarios I'm seeing here. If they can win without Kalonzo, let them do away with Kalonzo Musyoka. If they cannot, then they should give Kalonzo Musyoka what Kalonzo wants. And actually, they must be prepared even to share power with him after August election. If they cannot do that, then they should prepare to have a deal with the opposition, assuming they win in August election. And having said all that, ladies and gentlemen, I honestly believe that Kalonzo Musyoka sits in a very precarious political situation. Because as it is right now, we have some very strong leaders emerging in Ukambani. As I talk right now, all the three Ukambani leaders are solidly behind Raila Odinga. And even before Kalonzo joined Raila Odinga, they were doing a wonderful job in the Ukambani nation. And actually they were succeeding in convincing some good number of residents of Ukambani to support Raila Odinga. Immediately Kalonzo joined Raila Odinga, Kalonzo has been thwarting all that. He has been thwarting all that. And upon joining Raila Odinga, actually Kalonzo endorsed Raila Odinga in public. So for him now to turn around and say he's not supporting Raila Odinga, that's going to be very it's not going to be counterproductive for Kalonzo Musyoka. It can actually lead into Kalonzo Musyoka killing his political career. He will be seen as rudderless, confused, and a leader without any stand on anything, actually a true watermelon. So from where I sit again, Kalonzo should look at the bigger picture. He should look at the bigger picture. The situation Kalonzo is in today actually has to be very, very careful not to destroy his political career. He has to be very, very careful. Even if he was to walk, or rather withdraw his support for Raila Odinga, that withdrawing that support might actually not benefit Kalonzo Musyoka. It can actually benefit somebody else at the disadvantage of Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo shall have been seen to be a leader without any stand on any issue. That's exactly what I'm seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. So Orengo's remarks, Orengo sometimes, he always do make some remarks that are seen to be prophetic. In the last parliament, we still remember Orengo warning the likes of Kipchumba Murkomen that government eats its own people. And be it as it was, thus it happened that way, as Orengo did say. Yes. So these words by Orengo today, I'm also not taking them lightly. If things were to remain constant with all this quarreling, and then Raila goes ahead to pick Kalonzo Musyoka with all these ramblings and quarrelings, I'm also seeing a high possibility where immediately Raila is sworn in, there is going to be squabbles from day one. You promised this, you never give these. These I was not consulted. I'm seeing that kind of squabbles. And in Kenya, from the previous governments we have seen, if Kalonzo starts rebellion immediately, Raila is sworn in. Then a good majority of Kalonzo supporters, even if Raila shall have performed, Raila will be seen not to be performing. So actually it will be injuring Raila politically. And that we also saw when Ruto rebelled. Even those who were pressing Uhuru Kenyatta, that the government was doing very well and doing all those kind of good jobs, immediately Ruto rebelled, they were now castigating that government. And they were now blaming the president for not bringing development. While before Ruto rebelled, they were all pressing the government and the president for bringing development. So if Kalonzo also rebels, I'm also seeing such kind of a scenario where maybe supporters, even if Raila shall have performed, they'll be saying Mujama has not performed. So it's up to Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta to actually look at all the options and possibilities and scenarios to make the best kind of a decision. It's better you have a lean government, but a peaceful and a stable government, than having a very big government, but it's all just squabbles, fightings all through. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, just as I did state when I was starting, in case you've bumped here for the very first time, and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you, God bless you, God bless Kenya.